Let me take you back to the place where we grew. It was more than just a track. In the schoolyard vibes where legends were made. Boys turned to men in the games that we played. Under the sun, life's lessons came raw. Every challenge faced made us stronger for sure. Running through the dirt with our dreams in the race. Competing for respect, every heart was in place. Those playground rules, they became our creed. From basketball courts to the fields of speed. We hustled and flowed with every passing day. Learning how to stand up when life's in the way. In the schoolyard, that's where it began. Brotherhood forged, hand in hand. Through sweat and pain, through laughter and tears, we connected for life. Through our hopes and fears. Remember those battles we fought tooth and nail. Pushing through the struggle, we were destined to prevail. Tagging walls with dreams, spitting rhymes on the fly. In the chaos of youth, we reach for the sky from playground kids.
Welcome to another episode of Schoolyard. Yours truly, Chris Pender Sr.
Mike Franklin.
Vincent. Every day is Saturday. Scott.
Yes, sir.
Tommy Maurice.
Maurice. I like the way you say that.
Yeah, he's starting to roll it now. He get comfortable with it now. He's like, Reese.
I like the way you say that.
Yeah. I'm starting to like it. I'm starting to like it.
Yeah.
64 years, so I got it.
So tonight's topic is going to be pretty interesting, man. What role does a parent play in raising children in today's society? So I got to tell you this story first. So I get a call while one of my school programs. Two young ladies were getting into it. So one parent comes up. She goes into the building. She jumps up on the desk in the lobby. And she's threatening everybody. Telling her daughter to go find this girl in the building and fight this girl.
What?
Yeah, so it gets better. Another girl, so the girl calls up her friend so they could jump the girl. The friend's dad brings her back to the school. and her mom meets them at the school. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm like, I'm blown away because I can't be the only one who just does not see the logic in this.
Yeah.
So it's more pieces come out. So that made me really start thinking like, man, like what role do parents play? Because I do a lot of parenting classes, and one of the things that people talk about, I find myself talking about, people say we're not allowed to discipline our kids anymore, and that's not what they said. You can't beat them with a table aid. You can't.
Yeah.
So what role do we play now? I'm just curious because I see more parents that act worse than the kids.
Well, you know what? In that whole situation, Chris, it seems like that they never got to the bottom of what are they there for? You know what I mean? What actually happened? You know what I mean? What do we? Is this something that we can talk out? But no, I want to rumble. That's stupid.
It got so bad where the other girl's father and uncle came to pick him up, and she was challenging them.
This is the complete crackhead generation parent.
Yeah.
Y'all laughing. I'm serious.
No, I believe you. I'm gonna agree with you on that.
The parents. See, when we were kids, we didn't want our parents to know any kind of altercations we got in, and we definitely didn't get none with no teachers or adults.
Yeah.
Because if we got in an altercation, disagreement with a teacher, we had consequences at home.
Mm-hmm.
But now that crack era, that's when I don't care what my child did. I don't care what she or he said. And the kids heard that. So now these are the parents or either the grandkids of the real first crackhead generation. And that's all they know. That's all they know. When we grew up, that wasn't the case. But now, our kids, not ours, but our generation kids. And it's everybody's for themselves. There's no more village. There's no more community. It's me. And I don't care who I got to get my point across.
Yeah.
See, Mike getting on my side, 85%. See, you heard that, right? You heard that. You heard that.
You sound like you heard that. He sound like he was at 90%.
Hey, look, I'm rooting them on. Go, Mike, go.
I'm not there. I'll debate it in a minute.
Yeah,
Keep going, keep going.
I have
No,
a neighbor
well,
who
Mike's point
son.
Mike's point is so on point because there's not a lot of difference sometimes between the parents and the kid. Like for instance,
Yeah,
the child, 12-year-old girl is calling another girl a bunch of names and everything. The mom joins in. The mom joins in.
yeah.
And
Instead
then
of
she's looking for
instead of saying, "Look, that's not right," you know, that's not right to do that. She gonna join in. Yeah, that's stupid.
Right.
So she
But
acting more than like she acting like a sibling. She ain't not acting like a parent. Like
what
but
about
you
the
know
other one?
what? So many parents are so destined to be their kids'
friend.
friend that they lose sight of being a parent.
Yep.
Vincent, it's nothing my daughter could have said to me at 12 years old that's going to make me take her back to be in a fight that she has nothing to do with. There's
Absolutely.
nothing she could have said to me in that car.
Absolutely. I
She had to
feel
call
you.
my wife and
Absolutely.
have my wife meet me there.
Yeah.
It's like made for tears. I would say Hallmark, but it's too rough for
Yeah.
Hallmark. It's like, yo.
Like strength in numbers. Let's all meet up there and go after this
Tell me what the
12-year-old
comment.
girl. I mean,
Tell me
think
what the
that
comment.
out. Think
All right,
that
Tommy.
out. Think that out. That sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Tommy don't agree with this. I got to hear this, man.
Well, no, I'm not gonna say I don't totally disagree with that. That's the issue here, because I've experienced some of that stuff too. I just think that the parents' role today is compromised by social media. I think that social media has gotten them to the point where they are lost. As good as social media can be, it can be a negative because it's guiding them into ways like this. Oh, it's okay to do this because when I seen that scenario you just said, oh, that was cool. Look at social media; it went viral. So people said it's accepted. That's the way to be. That's not the way that it's like social media is teaching too many people to go that way.
But it's only half the story because social media is not talking about how when they come, they lock your butt up, or you run into the wrong person. Real quick story: I had a kid last year in Camden, New Jersey. Right, perfect example. The mom being the same way. He grabbed this girl's butt in the hallway. The girl knocked him off his feet, floored him. He gets up, look at the girl, and starts mouthing at the Caucasian teacher. He's going on the teacher. So he threatened the teacher. Mom come up to school. So, I'm sitting there listening. So they say, well, she says, I want to see the girl who hit my son. So they went, wait a minute, this is what your son did and so forth. All I know is this girl hit my son. I don't see the girl hit my son. So he said, we could charge him with assault. Not only the girl, but the teacher. I want to see this little girl, who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Who is she? So what the lady mom didn't know, the girl's dad was a retired boxer, and he taught the girl how to box. So she knew how to box. So, but that's all she focused on was that who hit her son, not what he did wrong.
Yeah, he effed around and found out.
So I said, ma'am, let me explain this to you. He got the right one. What do you mean? I said, because she hit him. She didn't get her dad. Most girls, he would have had to deal with that. And guess who you'll be dealing with right now? An R&B father. So he kind of got off easy. All I want to know is who this girl is. So parenting is becoming like that. It's almost like I asked the parent, I said, let me ask you a question. She says, because this is a question I got for you. We were talking about calling her 11-year-old son the man of the house. So that's my next question. Call that man of the house. So we were talking, so I said, you're one of those moms. If he got caught on camera, national TV committing a crime, you would say he's innocent. She said, yeah.
Wow.
He was like, yeah.
He the man of the house with no job.
but let's talk about parenting because I hear it a lot from single women. I hear it a lot. That's the man of the house.
12-year-old son is the man of the house. Wow.
Man of the house.
I hear it all the time.
Yo, when did you becoming a man of the house, paying no bills? You know what I mean? Living off the fat of the land. Yeah, I
So
mean,
they
no
getting the man of the house
responsibility.
mixed up with the oldest male.
That title is important. You know what I mean? You
But
just a male that lives in the house at
Right, you're
that
the
point.
oldest male in the house.
Yeah,
You're not a man at
you're
all.
not the man of the house. No, by no means of the word.
but it kind of feeds into our previous conversation because, okay, well, Mike, I can't count you because you said you've been 7 feet since you were born. But if you look at most kids, right, most guys, most little boys are about they 4 foot something. You know what I mean? So what happens when he comes 6'2" now? And you've been for all those years, he's a man of the house.
Well,
And
he
check
gonna
this out.
start.
She said he asked her who's at the door, who she talking to,
What?
yeah. He knocks on the bathroom door, what you doing there? He decided not to do an assignment in school because he didn't need to do it at 11. So she said, well, what would you do? What I wanted to say, I can't say because of parenting class. I'm like, yo, 5 minutes that dude in the bathroom, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But yo, so I say that because that's what happened with the girl. To your point, Tommy, they like equal now. They like equals now. So what do you feel about he's the man in the house? What do you think that has to do with parenting? Good, bad, and different?
I think that's about the dumbest squat that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yo, man of the house means something. Man of the house meant something when we grow up.
Yeah.
You know, man of the house comes with major responsibilities. You know what I mean? You just
my dad used to tell us, just because your wee get hard don't make you a man. You're not a man till you can take care of yourself and have the ability to help take care of somebody else.
Yeah.
Then you might be able to call yourself a man. But until then, no, you're just a male that live in the home.
Yeah.
But his mom is telling him he's the man of the house.
Yeah, the definition is just
So
I mean,
so when he feels though one day he can put his hands on her, maybe she'll rethink that.
It happens more than you know. It happens more than you know, man.
Or he step out there to another man for real.
Mm-hmm.
And he find out what man of the house really means. Because working man strength is different than little boy man of the house strength.
Yeah.
Now Chris Rock said, "I'll shake this."
So what role? What role do we have, Tommy? You want to comment on that?
I lumped up.
Yeah, right. I agree with all y'all, what y'all saying on this subject. That's just the mother just misguiding him, leading him into a path of failure, and the whole family at that rate, because her decision to say to him, "You're the man of the house," and we all know there's no way at 12 years old.
She's setting him up to fail horribly and find out the hard way.
Well, he won't know what a man really is.
Right.
Well, he already made one decision. He made one decision not to do his assignment because I'm the man of the house. I'm not going to do it.
And you're right. Like you say, Mike, he has no real example of what a man of the house really is.
I've heard females say that about young kids. Now, I gave you 11-year-old, but I heard them say that to like 5-6-year-old boys, where they say, "That's my little man. That's that's the man." You hear that? I hear that a lot. And to Mike's point, that's exactly what happens because now they kind of self-defining what a man is. And typically when you do that, it doesn't turn out too well.
They call it leading without example.
Right.
Not trying to be
blind leading the blind.
Right.
For real.
Not trying to be sexist in this, but you hear that from women. You never hear a man tell a boy that you're the man of the house. I mean, now Chris, you out there more than I. Are you hearing this from men telling other boys you're now the man of the house, or is that strictly from women?
No, because typically when you say that, and Vincent kind of touched on it, and Mike too, you give away your authority when you say that.
Yeah.
If Mike was living with me and I said you the man of the house, he'd think he in charge now.
Yeah, that's right. You giving him authority.
No stipulations. You
giving him authority that he really don't have.
That's my chair.
Chris, make me a plate.
Chris, make me
in your house.
Well, I mean, because if you look at parenting now, Praying is taking a huge shift, man. And Tommy, I put some of it on social media, but this has been happening before social media became popular. That parents just have not been parenting.
Yeah.
So a lot of parents, they tell me, well, because we can't beat our kids anymore. What do you think about that? You know, because back in the day, you know, we got spanked. Now, if you're doing that, yeah.
I mean,
Now you
in
go
our
to
day,
jail.
we had DHS, but yeah, we were too scared to talk. You know what I mean? We knew the penalty for talking was
I was
terrible.
gonna say DHS
And
would witness.
I'm gonna take this one.
They would witness child abuse. You call them on it.
Yeah.
I know how to call them on. Well, my parents, she'd be like, all right, when they get here, they're gonna see child abuse.
My dad said, let me tell you
And
something.
you still getting out.
My dad, he used to say, look, man, you call if you want to because they taking you with you and you ain't taking anything because that's all my stuff.
Yep.
You go on. They better take you with you. But
You better bring a change of clothes because you leave it in your underwear.
Right.
What do you think is some of the differences between now and, you know, between then and now that we got this sudden shift in because parenting, the lack of?
Well, I tell you what, too, even with some of the male role models that's out there, then it's something totally different. You know what I mean? And I would shudder to let them lead a child of mine. No, you know, we were all taught to lead by example. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And as Mike say, you know, be the captain of our ship.
And nobody's teaching that no more.
But
Now
it's responsibilities to come with that statement. You know, I feel insulted that a kid think he holds the same power as I do.
for real.
You know what I'm
For
saying?
real.
You know, he don't know. Somebody might knock on the door and he be like, I need to come in there. Man, you can't come in my get out the way.
We need to reach out, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Boy,
mean,
that's an insult. That's an insult to title.
Yeah.
For real. That's an insult to title.
but I agree with what you're saying, but it's I'm always trying to figure out trends. You know, like how did we get here? You know, like what happened, especially in our community. Like in our community, you never called your parents, you never called an adult by their first name. That was like
No.
that. If you did it, you went to the dentist because you were never ever going to do that again.
No.
Now, even our community, I hear it. I hear black kids calling their parents by their first name. You know, if I would say
they own mom and dad?
yeah, if I would ask somebody, hey Bill, hey Joe, hey Jack, if I would have said no, my parent would have told me to do something, I would say no.
Yeah.
Somewhere we made it right,
it'd
but
be an
we
empty
should have
block
made it
on this
left.
podcast right now. It'd be an empty block right there. It wouldn't be nobody talking out of it. But I've heard kids tell their parents, no, I'm not doing it.
Now you say how did we get here? I think Mike hit it on the head when he said that crack era hit us where we harder than we maybe know.
Yeah.
But it may have damaged a generation of
It changed our trajectory.
yeah.
Yes.
It damaged a generation of people.
And you know what? That makes a lot of sense because you got a lot of kids that were raised by their grandparents and seen their mom and dad as being that crack addict.
Right.
You know, and they had no respect for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and they that crack left people with no responsibility. You know, those people that chose crack, you know, they didn't have responsibility to anything but that crack.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just maybe it was too many of them, more of them than we thought that had an impact.
I'm gonna put a spin on that. I do agree that it did some damage, but my question is, the generation we're talking about is probably at least one, maybe two generations removed from that. So, at what point does common sense kick in? At what point does this don't seem right?
Well, you got to think about it. The parents of the day, their role models were that early generation, that early generation of crackheads. Right?
That's right. But not only that,
It's a
crack
trickle
is
down
synthetic.
theory.
It's a synthetic drug. They got all kind of chemicals in there. It's in their bloodstream. So now it went from 2 generations to 1 generation to current. and that bloodstream is still tainted. It's tainted heavily. And, you know, DNA is powerful. It's powerful. I mean, y'all heard me say this. One of the best things about being a parent is to see yourself and your own kids, good and bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing but, I'm not going to say bad, but nothing positive, morale leaves, hope leaves. And that's when you get, like you said, 11-year-old being the man of the house. Because they said it, there were no role models, none. And so that 11-year-old, well, I can do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Maybe even better.
Yeah. But the thing
I
is,
agree with you.
to think that he's 11 years old and he can actually protect that household is ludicrous.
Yeah.
But the other side of it for me is you see that, and I agree with you, Mike. But you watch the news, you see what happens to kids who look like us, the color, right? You know what I mean?
Oh,
you hear all the things that. So why would you like purposely just set your kid up for that though? That's
because they don't realize this is institutionalized.
Yeah.
Crack in our neighborhoods didn't just happen. It was put there with a serious purpose. And there were some of us, thank God all of us, knew we're not going that route no matter what. Yeah. But if you wouldn't have a strong background, a strong self-esteem, a strong opinion of yourself, you fell for that. I mean, just go back when we were in high school. There were some kids that we knew were college bound, or we knew they were going to do something, and we come back around the neighborhood. What happened to you?
Yeah.
And it was that crack.
I mean, you know, when crack was out, and you know, I'm talking to somebody just in general, and they say, "Oh man, you can get hooked off of one hit."
Mm-hmm.
What I'm gonna try it for?
Right.
You don't have to convince me at that point. I'm like, keep that as far away from me as possible.
But that still happens today when you talk to people how, even though they know one hit can do it, but it's still
they think not me. I'm better.
I agree because we saw people happen to people, but it still takes me back. I look at the news. I'm in these schools. I see what's happening to our kids who look like us. I see how we talked about last week how those songs you sing weren't really for us. So you see that the playing field is going the opposite direction. So why would you set your kid up for that kind of life? Because if you with your kid, you jumping up on the desk acting like a fool. That's what Mike says all the time. That's going to be in your kid's DNA.
Yeah.
So what happens when they start locking you see in elementary school? You get away with stuff like that.
But let's go back to 1968. I'm gonna name a song, and I'm gonna change one word. Y'all familiar with Cloud 9?
Yeah. Oh no, what you?
Right. You don't have no responsibility.
Yeah.
Change the word from cloud to Cloud 9 to crack now.
Yeah.
Crack now. You can be what you wanna be. Crack now. You don't got no responsibility. The same thing.
Give the theme song.
I'm just saying. Cloud 9 was talking about drugs.
Well, yeah, it was a drug song.
And I agree. And maybe this is me. I guess I'm getting soft in my old age, but I look at and we all parents on here. I look at my kids, and we did the very best we could to set them up for success. We looked at, and you said it, Mike, we looked at the failures we had, the things we didn't do so well, the things we improved upon, and we made sure we poured that into our kids or our kid. We did. So now I'm looking around, it's almost like it's the exact opposite. I want to teach my kid to be an idiot. I want to teach my kid that it's okay to cuss people out. Like Tommy said, I want to teach my kid like it's okay to do something that's going to get me on the video.
I say this a lot around my house. I said, we as Black people, we took the most negative things inside to make it cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, the N-word.
Pants hanging down.
All these mobs at the mall where we got there, you know, snatching pocketbooks and doing everything that's negative. We found a way to make it cool. And then go back to what my dad said about cool. Cool and fool have a lot more in common than rhyming words. And nobody's teaching the kids that part.
But even the parent,
because the parents doing it.
Yeah, but I mean,
They might not be. I'm sorry.
where's the pride at? Well, we all like we get together. We're proud of the way our kids turned out. We're proud of the things we put in. We, but how?
But you know why? You know why? When you proud of how you turned out.
Yeah.
When you proud of the way your parents raised you.
Yeah.
We all were. I knew Miss Scott. I know Mr. and Mr. Pender. I knew my parents. I know the Puckets. We had pride long at birth. We had
But
pride.
growing up, we strive to make our parents proud of us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And we, like you said, we strive to make them proud. We wanted to win that award. We wanted to be in first place. We wanted to win the math contest.
Yeah.
We wanted to do and we were proud of that. And even if you didn't get nothing that year except perfect attendance, you were proud of that. Now kids go, I missed 9 out of 10 days, so what?
Yeah, man.
So what? And it's like you said, no pride, no self-esteem, and a lot of kids think, no accountability, and they don't realize what they're doing to their whole generation because prisons are out there waiting. They go to the elementary schools, they take the 3rd grade reading level, and they decide this is where we're going to build the next prison at.
Yeah.
And we're falling for that. They want to make sure, we had jobs that they wish they had. I'm talking about white people.
Yeah.
Or we had jobs that they wonder, how did we get them and how do we achieve? How do we become their bosses?
Yeah.
This is not the way it's going now. That's going to be far and in between. Yeah. Thank God. I know my kids are in that same boat. Vince, I know your daughter's in. Chris, I know your kids are in that same boat. I know Tommy kids are in that same boat. But we 4 out of 100,000. And everybody, man, I ain't gonna do nothing, man. My vote don't count. Oh man, and they ain't gonna let me do nothing. Why should I? And we quick to blame everybody else, and we don't look in the mirror. We don't look in the mirror, and we take the most negative things and try to make it cool.
But
I'm gonna say this, Mike. I talked about this about a month ago. I'm at a track meet with my grandkids.
Yeah.
And they're rooting for their own team to lose. They're rooting for their own team. And these are black and white kids that's rooting for their get smoke. Yeah, I mean up to the top of their lungs. Yeah, he got smoke. And that's his teammates. And I looked around and said, hey, you can't wait, what's going on here? Now, for the generation part of it, the parents looked at me like, what are you talking about? What they just rooting against their teammates. The grandparents looked at me and said, yeah, you saying something. Yeah, you're right. They felt, wait a minute, right? What are y'all doing? But the parents.
These are your teammates that you're rooting against.
The parents was looking at it like, it ain't no, what you trying to say something? Like, almost like Chris is saying, what are you trying to say something to my kid because he's rooting against his teammate? Well, some of them was rooting against their sister and their brother. They was rooting against their family.
Why are you surprised though?
Well, I'm just saying that's what you're saying. Where's the parenting going, and how do we fix it? So I'm asking.
It has to start with the parents.
It do.
I say I'm not surprised because you see brothers shooting brothers, sisters shoot. You see it, and I don't even watch the news every day. My wife does. You see it all the time. Family against family. You just when we grew up, even though we're not biologically family, we had rules that we didn't do to each other. Now it's all bets are off. It's all bets are off, man. Yeah, it's like they stealing boyfriends, girlfriends from family members. It's crazy. And the thing about parenting that I guess I'm really intrigued in because it's almost like my father used to say this to me every time I left the house. Yo, boy, you got my last name, don't mess it up. I heard that every time. Man, I was in college hearing the same thing when I came home. Yo, don't mess it up. That's you would say it to me all the time. Right. We all heard something similar.
You took pride in yourself, in your family. Yeah. Y'all Vince said it best, that pride.
Yeah.
When we were little kids, you were proud to be a Scott. You were proud to be a Pender. You were proud to be a Puckett. You were proud to be
A Stokely
Franklin.
schoolyard person.
A Stokely schoolyard person,
You had more
except for Ricky. Now let me stop.
But you know what? I remember your mom used to always say this. So I remember Tom. We remember you going out. She said, "Remember who you are." She used to say it all the time. Yo, remember? It's like now, but even parents don't know who they are now.
Yeah.
Like for instance, you know, I have situations where it's a 15-year-old. The mother is 30 and the grandmother is 45, and they hanging out together. They come up to school dressed alike, talking the same way, slang word. Yeah, you know, it's just
getting high together.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, the first time I saw that, I was shocked. I'm like, you getting high with your child?
Yeah.
I was flabbergasted. I'm like, whoa, whoa.
That's more.
You destroyed that kid already.
That's actually more common than you really think.
I'm starting to see that, but I never thought that. I never thought that.
I got a middle school kid I'm working with, and he's hooked on vape. You know how he got on vape? His dad made him smoke it because his dad sells it. His dad told him it's gonna make you a man. So now this kid's in middle school getting suspended for vaping in the bathroom. Like, what are you doing? And he's a smart child, good athlete, play soccer, but he's vaping now because his dad's gonna make him a man.
Instead of making him he made him an addict.
His dad is in the 3rd or 4th, 5th grade instead of
he got that 3rd grade education. Yeah,
he got the same teacher, right?
The roles reversed.
Yeah, you might as well go to school with him.
Right.
I just
sit in the back.
Like for some, and especially in our community, and I remember how tight our community used to be. And you talk about how other parents got involved, and people got involved. You had a Mr. Boone, you had Lynn, you know, you had Ralph, you had Sonny, you had all these guys who pitched in. We've lost that now. There's no accountability. You know, we'll have a kid on our team as long as he can play. We don't worry about the rest of the stuff. He can play and stay eligible. He cool.
Yeah.
You know, we don't get into. It's almost like we don't care about people's personal lives anymore. Like I wish if I would have showed up to practice cursing and smoking, well, he would have knocked me out. Then made me run when I woke up. Y'all don't give me 10 laps.
No, I remember I was 13, 14 years old. We were running Lehigh University indoor track, and I backpedaled across the finish line. And Ron, when I turned around, Ron smacked the crap out of me. Then you know what I did? Nothing. I knew not to never back cross the finish line again.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that when we got back to Philly, he didn't go tell my mom that Mike backpedaled across the finish line.
Yeah.
And you know, I was talking to my mom the other day, and we were talking about my nephew, my great nephew. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, we didn't want you to be embarrassed by anything we did.
Yep.
We just didn't want to. You know, I remember I was 16 years old. I got my driver's license. I used to wash all my brothers and sisters' clothes. I would wash them, dry them, iron them, hang them up, take them in the room, because I was sticking girls in the basement. And I got my license. I'm taking girls home 1 o'clock. My mom called me one morning. She said, Mike. She didn't say Mike. She said Michael. I'm like, oh, Michael.
Yeah, they used the whole name. Yeah.
In trouble. Yep, you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble now.
And she told me, she said, next time I see or hear my car going down the street, your license expires at midnight. The next time I hear my car going down the street, I'm going to call the cops. I'm going to report my car stolen. And I'm going to tell them you have it. Then when they call me and say they got you, I'm going to come to the police station and get my car. I said, what about me? She said, get one of them bimbos that you could take home at midnight, 1 o'clock, and their dad don't kill you, bringing their daughter home that time of night.
Yeah.
And I know now she wouldn't have left me in jail. But at 16, 17 years old, I wasn't going to take that chance ever again.
I don't know. I think my dad would left me there for a day.
I wasn't going to take that chance. I don't know.
I'm just saying. He would have got his point across.
Thinking now, but back then I think she would have left me. But now I think maybe she wouldn't have. But I didn't want to take that chance. You know what? I'm gonna prove it. You're gonna leave me in jail. No. The warning was sent. The message was received.
Yeah.
But it's just like, and you another thing about it was I think parents were more nurturing back then. You know, it wasn't just I'm the dad of the mom because I'm the dad of the mom. You know, they even when you run in trouble, they talk to you. You know what I mean? It was positive. It wasn't only when you got in trouble. You know, we gonna have this conversation. Even when they walked you through, like I could say, you know, my parents walked me through life. You know, and not just my parents, the extended family, people like your mom,
uncles, everybody.
They walked you through life. You know, when they saw you doing something good, they comment on it. It wasn't only the only time they said something when you got in trouble. And I think you don't see that anymore when you're dealing with parents. These folk have kids, man, and it's almost like they live in two different worlds. Like Tommy said, I wish my son would be there. I wish my grandson would be rooting against his teammate. We got a problem.
Yeah. I coach track, and I'd have got arrested if I'd have heard my team rooting against each other.
Yeah.
I would have got arrested. Oh my goodness.
But you know what? You brought up a good point, Chris, because even with your parents there, you also had extended family that led by example. My dad passed, unfortunately, when I was 5 years old, and my older brother set great examples for me as to what a man is, what a head of the household does, this, that, and the other. If my mom would have told me at 11 years old, you the head of the household, I'm like,
that wasn't going to happen. I remember you with your mom, Vince. Me and Paul went downtown and we bought some guitar strings. We were trying to learn how to teach ourselves how to play the guitar. And your mom came down there and she was like, "What are y'all doing?" Because the reason why we had to buy the guitar string, we was plucking too hard and popping it. Right. But she sat down and talked to me and Paul.
Yeah.
You know, like she took charge. What are y'all doing? Why are you doing it like this? And she wasn't my mom, but I knew I better respect Miss Scott. I knew I better.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she knew my mind. If I'd have been like, "Oh, I'm the man of my house. You can't tell me what to do." Well, y'all would have been talking about the late Mike Frank.
But you know what? It was different because let me tell you, I was more afraid of Lenny than my own parents. I was like, because I know my parents would have some restraint because I'm their son. I ain't his son. Where's he gonna stop at? And when Lenny, you never knew. You just never knew. And I was like, and I remember, I'm not gonna say the name. I remember a guy we played with, man. He would not walk past Lenny. He would go from center field all the way around right field to come to the bench. He was not walking past. If we played on the other side, he'd be behind the fence. He would not walk past Lenny, man. It was like, no.
Did he live on Euclid Street? Euclid Avenue?
Mike always do that.
I just asked you that.
But I said it because it was such a respect that we have for them. We wouldn't dare. We wouldn't dare be saying stuff back. You ain't my father. We would never.
Oh no.
The R would come out your mouth, but we would never say stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, but I think today.
But remember, let's go back when we were kids.
Yeah.
What? You better, whatever you mumbled, you better make sure your mom and dad didn't hear it. These kids don't mumble. They don't mumble.
No.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. I hate you.
Yeah.
Right out loud.
That's the big one right there. I hate you.
Right.
Yeah.
We wouldn't fathom saying that to our parents.
Man, I was afraid to think it.
Right.
She might see the expression on my face and think what I'm thinking.
All my dad had to do was cut his eyes. He didn't have to say a word, and we knew.
Yeah.
I had a
attention.
Straighten
I had
up.
a discussion with one of my friends who he has younger kids, and his wife seems to think that his kids shouldn't fear him. I was like, why shouldn't they?
They don't realize that fear and respect.
Yeah.
Got a little sentiment. It got a
It's
little bit.
It's a thin line.
Thin line, right?
You fear and you respect.
You don't have to be, oh my God, like that with your parents. But
the thing is,
there's some serious consequences coming if I don't do this.
Wait till your father get home is lost.
Oh, that was the line nobody wanted to hear.
You know what I mean?
I say it all the time. You knew you went too far when mom said that. You knew when she got to that point, you went too far.
It's wait till your father get home.
But
Huh?
so let me ask you a question. Because to me, and I get in some interesting conversation around. To me, I think that's the most disrespectful thing a parent can do to a kid is not raise them properly.
Exactly.
I think that is the worst thing. You know, you had this young boy growing up thinking he all that sense of entitlement or whatever. You got this girl thinking this, and then they get into the real world and it changes. It's
Well,
dramatic.
you know what, Chris? A lot of parents don't teach their kids about consequences.
Well, they're none.
Do you know why?
Yeah, I mean,
four
they
or the
find
five
out
or
when it
something-
happens.
And sometimes the 6 of us be on this call
Mm.
and we talk about before Stokely Schoolyard,
Yeah.
and then we talk about Stokely Schoolyard because there were consequences
Yeah.
before we even could ask permission to go in that school.
Yeah.
There were consequences. We knew
It
we had
wasn't.
to do your
It
homework.
wasn't our God-given man of the house.
Exactly.
But I can tell you this too.
Yeah, I mean,
My mom and dad, and just like your moms knew pretty much everybody that was in that schoolyard.
Yeah.
Nobody knocked on our door. They didn't know who it was. Nobody came to the house to get us. They knew who it was. But I think, again, parenting is like, it's because people just seem to let stuff go. I don't understand. Like people just, the stuff our parents cared about, we cared about, parents don't care about this stuff anymore. It's almost like perfect example. Kid acting like a butthole in school, getting in trouble, not doing his work. And then he come to school next day with a brand new pair of Air Jordans on.
Yeah. Get rewarded for getting in trouble.
Yeah, I
know my mom and dad used to tell us, you better not never get left down. Because if you do, you better get a good eraser. Because we're not buying you no back to school paper, no book. You didn't use them last year, so you can use them again this year.
I remember I got a
award. Grow.
I remember I got an award for perfect attendance in Stokely. Mm-hmm. I was proud as can be. My dad my dad said, "What you so proud about?" I said, "I ain't missed a day." He said, "You better not have missed a day." I sent you out of here every day. That's the expectation.
But you were proud of that. That was an accomplishment.
But he was like, "Yo, you're supposed to do that." He was like, "You're supposed to do that, right?"
You know what's funny in retrospect, where it seems like at our time, your parents would say, "Go to your room. It's a punishment."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now that's where I spend all my time at anyway. So it really should be like, go outside.
Right.
Right. That's part of the problem, because you get these kids, man, who their parents, man, don't have that authority. Like the kid would say why. I could never say why to my parents. Or the kid would say, or like
it wasn't a question. It was like, okay.
I couldn't say but. If I said
don't make them say it twice. Don't make them say it twice.
I was talking back. And
you know what we couldn't say?
My dad had dementia. Even dementia, I was still afraid of him. He was here, right? He's staying with us. You get a kick out of this. He's here. And you know, one night I came in like 8 o'clock. It was dark in the wintertime. He said, "Where were you at?" I'm like, "My house." So I'm saying to myself, I ain't saying it loud. Like, oh man. I'm like, yo. He said, "Yo, what you out there this late for?" I said, "Dad, it's only 8 o'clock." He said, "It's dark." Mm-hmm. I thought I was back in Stokely. I said, "What that?"
Don't let the street light find you out there.
I said, "Dad, I had some work to do after work." He said, "Man, ain't nothing out there good for you this time of night." He said, "You got a wife. You supposed to be home." Then he says, and I tell Tommy this all the time, the one thing he remembered to the day he died was, "I'm your father." He just that, but I remember like, it's dark. What do you mean it's dark? It's 8 o'clock. I'm like, this is grown man. So but now you got kids. I got kids in middle school who out to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
They tell you, "What were you doing? Yeah. Where was your mom at?" Or she was watching out the window, or she was looking at some TV show. 1 o'clock in the morning. And know how school rewards them? School said, "Let's put a start time back at night so you can get an extra hour of sleep." That's what school was talking about doing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what else we couldn't say it in our household?
I don't care.
Well, but Miss Scott, Vincent, Mr. Pender, Chris, Mr. and Miss Franklin, Mike, Tommy, we bet not never say what.
What? Yeah.
Now you call the kid what?
I show you what.
Yeah. Oh no, my kids knew. They bet not say that. I remember I was at work, and I know I'm
yes.
Right. That's how you ask them. Yes.
Yeah, I'm thankful. Right. Like I said, my kids and my grandkids, they know not to say what, but their friends will come over here and say what, but they quickly learn, and that's not what you do in this house. You want to be over here, you say yes.
Right.
That's
You have
yes.
parents. You have parents who do the same thing. You
Yeah.
have parents who cannot have a conversation without cursing. You MF, you do. You have, and I come across parents, man. Strawberry Mansion. There's a lady lives in a store, and she's blind. I don't mean leave. I mean blind. Really can't see. Somebody has to escort her around, and so she's threatening my staff. So I'm like, how are you threatening somebody you can't see? So she
Yeah.
said, so we sitting, I'm talking to her. Well, if you don't know me, you should ask somebody. I'm like, well, I grew up around. What are you talking about? And she was like, yo, she said, well, I'll take you out. You can't even see me. I'm like,
Right.
I'm saying to myself, like, wait a minute. Hold up. And she's teaching her kids. So I said, look, ma'am, they're about to ban you and your kid from the building, which means you can't come in. She can't come in at the school program. But I'm gonna do you a favor. You got a nice kid. Your daughter can come, but we'll walk her to the gate. You know what the response was to me? Oh, that's just like prison.
Wow.
Her kid is sitting right there.
Wow. You walk her to the gate.
Yeah,
That's like being in
like
prison.
And I'm like, you this kid mom.
See, you nicer than me because I probably been asking you tell which one not like the other one.
Yeah.
No, my honestly, I felt bad. I felt bad because remember the Chinese movies
coming out of my mouth.
Remember those Chinese movies? You throw something over there and they look over there. I'm saying that's all I gotta do. I do.
I'm over here.
I'm telling you.
Guess where I'm at now.
How you gonna threaten somebody and you blind?
You can't see.
And she said it like you'd have thought she was like John Gotti or somebody, and she was so proud with it. And her daughter, they're talking about you banned from the building. You're talking about kicking your daughter out, and you sitting here like trying to be Joe Thug. But I say that because I think a lot of parents. I go back to the lady who jumped up on the desk. Your daughter's right there with you. You jump up on the desk. What's going to happen?
You're her example. You're her
example.
example.
Tell her daughter that's what you do. Teachable moment.
But what's going to happen when she jumps up on the desk in the wrong place and and she gets hurt?
Yeah.
You jump on these two guys' faces. You got the right two guys, because if you get the wrong two guys, some guys don't have a problem with hitting a woman. Some guys would let me call my sister. And I'm thinking to myself, this is what you teach your kid. And then the parent who brought the kid back, that's mind-boggling.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The wife met him there. The wife met. So not only did you bring the kid back, but the wife came and met you there. And the girl wasn't even involved in the situation.
It's on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Wasn't even involved in the situation. So I think parent as a whole, man, is taking this dark, deep turn.
If two kids had a conflict back when we grew up, they would have had the parents and the kids sitting in the principal office talking it out. With nobody been up on top of no desks, they'd have been finding out exactly what's going on, and they would have turned to their child and said, "It better not happen again."
And when we get home,
yeah.
If we got home,
it's right. Like your child.
Sometimes you got on the way home.
What? Yeah. You got in office sometimes.
Yeah.
So as we close, what would be your well, we all got kids. We all got kids, man. We all have grown kids, man. What would you say to them is the key to being a successful parent?
Choices. For me, choices. You have to make choices, and the kids have to make choices and understand that there's responsibility and consequences to all choices that you make.
I agree with you 100%, Don.
And role model. We were role models to our kids when they were babies. And we never stopped. My youngest is 31. She'll be 32 in August. I'm still a role model to her.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's funny where you see instances when your kids are so much like you. My daughter, she a lot like me. So we was having a discussion, and it was kind of a dispute. And she said something, and I caught myself, and she caught herself at the same time. She changed it up, and I accepted it. And I was like, damn, she just like me. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't nothing harsh or bad, but I see where she takes a lot of pride. She a little stubborn. You know what I mean? But that's my child.
Right.
I see where, she was paying attention. And you see the importance of being a parent and being a role model because your child is always watching.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And kids do more what you do than what you say.
Yeah.
They always watching.
Well, ain't this how I'm supposed to do it, mommy? Up on the desk?
Mhm. Right. Yeah.
Really? She's like, really? Get off my desk.
Mm.
No,
But
but you put your kid in a situation where they can really get hurt.
yeah.
Because you doing it as an adult. They doing it as a child, and they might be doing it as a child in front of an adult that really don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know
But
what I
like
mean?
Chris said, there's people out here now that don't care. Men
Yeah,
will punch a lady in the face and think nothing of it.
yeah.
You know,
Well,
we were
in the
raised that you
words,
better not do that.
in the words of my mom, that raised 4 boys and 1 girl. The way she always told us, if you big enough to hit, you big enough to
Bigger
get
to
hit.
get back. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're man enough to hit a man. You be
And that
woman.
and,
Be
and
man
that
enough
and,
to accept
and
that
that that
return back.
that 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 always stuck with me. But
Mm-hmm.
I thankfully haven't been in a situation where I had a woman come up punch me in the face.
No, no.
Because I don't know how we react. So I never really had that.
You'd hit it back.
I might like that Chris Rock say, I might
Yeah,
shoot the
yeah,
shit
yeah,
out
yeah,
of
yeah.
him.
Yeah, I
Nah,
don't.
yeah.
Well,
I give her the address of the closest hospital.
yeah.
I mean, but the thing is
Yeah, our
like,
mom always told us if a
yeah,
woman's man enough to hit you, she's man enough to get hit back.
yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing.
I
That's
mean,
consequence.
I wouldn't though.
There's consequences to
Yes,
everything. There's consequences to everything. You might catch that man on a bad day. He might have had
yeah,
the worst day at work, and then you decide you're gonna put your hands on him.
yeah.
And you wake up 3 days later in the hospital like,
Right. Still in a coma.
What
huh?
happened?
What happened? Hello, you've been under for 3 days.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah, but I
want to
think,
go through that.
but see, it goes back to respect.
Yes, absolutely, it goes to respect.
I think, and if you're not taught it, you don't know any better. I'm not making excuses on, but you don't. You know, and I think even with today, and this is a whole other show we can talk about. I think this whole thing about toxic masculinity and empowering women. You do have a lot of women who think they own power with men, even physically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You do. You see where women up in people's faces, and a guy's face. I wish you would. You see that now. It's becoming more and more
but
prevalent.
but then when he snap her back in half, he wrong. You know what I mean? When he hit her with I mean, I don't know most women can take their hard right hand from a man.
Right?
Snap her back in half. Wow.
He just passed Mike.
No, but seriously, and you gotta have some good upbringing and restraint, because sometimes it's better to walk away because if you
Yes.
put your hands on a woman, chances are
You
you
going
going
to
to jail.
You going to jail, right?
Well, and
And in the field we were all in, you go to jail, you lose your career. Not your
Right.
job, your
Right.
career.
You're right. You losing everything.
but it's funny because unless you have a bruise on you as a male, it's hard to prove that it's self-defense. It is. I know that because my brother's a state trooper and family cops.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible for you to prove
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
it's self-defense. But I also think if we go back to as we close with parenting, I think one thing that I think that made a difference for us was, and I teach my kids, is that it's okay to be different.
Yes.
Yeah.
And being a
Absolutely.
parent sometimes takes courage.
Be
Sometimes,
the captain of your ship.
yeah,
You're in charge of you.
and it takes
we were
courage.
all different. We had a lot of similarities, but we were
Yeah.
all different. We individuals. And we took pride in that. We took pride in knowing what we could do, and we didn't mind sharing it, but we knew what we could do. And that's academically, that's physically, that's mentally, that's no matter how you went and looked at it, we knew who we were.
Yeah.
And that's what the kids don't know now. They don't have an identity.
Yeah. Now, I once posted a question to somebody that told me they couldn't control their mouth.
What?
I asked them, I said, if somebody broke into your house, put a gun to your forehead and said, say one word, are you going to talk or are you going to listen? Well, that's different. That's different.
No,
I
it's
said,
not.
no, that's not different.
I'm
not
proving
different.
that you can't control your mouth.
There's different degrees. You know what I mean? You can control your mouth, you know?
But I think it goes back to, and I think being a parent is really, you have to know who you are, because sometimes, you got to say no to your kids when all their friends' parents are saying yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes
Yep.
you got to be the guy that says, nah, this just don't make any sense.
Yep, you do. You
And I
absolutely
think
do.
that's the thing that parents are afraid to do now. They're afraid to be that person. Mike said it, because I want to be cool. So I'm not going to be the parent that said my kid ain't going out here 11 o'clock at night. I'm not going to be the parent that says, yo, go put some clothes on. I do think
I was that parent that didn't care about that kind of stuff.
Me too.
My kids knew they had to be in the house at a certain time. They had to do certain things, and
Yeah.
I didn't care what your friends or who they that didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
And my kids knew, like we knew. Chris, you was over our house a lot. If we were on punishment, could you come ring the bell and ask, could we come outside?
No.
No. And I would tell my friends, hold on.
First of all, it's a misnomer, because I was never allowed to ring the bell. I got told off for actually rang the doorbell.
The door's open, come on in, right?
They would look out the window. That's only him. That's only ain't nobody. Why are you ringing the bell?
No, but I remember Roger Dixon. He said, I'm gonna come ask your dad, can you come outside? I said, please don't. I heard the doorbell. Can Mike come outside? Mike will not have you. And Roger didn't tell him. Mike asked me not to, because Roger would get in trouble. He was like, come ring my doorbell and ask my mom, can I come outside? And she would go, okay, Mike, he can go outside with you. I said, don't ever, my mom and dad don't believe in that. If they tell us we can't go outside, we can't go outside. And if somebody else come and ask, could we? Even more than we were supposed to be. And I don't care what they say out there. Y'all listen to what we say in here.
Yeah.
And I raised my kids like that. I'm listening to Vince. I can tell Vince raised his daughter like that. You still love your daughter, but you had, I'm protecting you. Things you might not see that I know that's going on out there, that I'm going to make sure you don't ever have to see or witness. We did that as parents. Now it's a free fall. Do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the issue. Do what you want to do.
Another great show.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Another great show. So I'm gonna give a hint of what we're gonna talk about next week, so y'all can prepare, man. We all know the Rick Child verdict. The guy that shot the kid in the back.
Yeah.
Allegedly. We've been going through a lot of that, man. I just want to actually talk to some black women about how they feel about this. That's going to be our discussion next week.
Yeah.
How we feel about that, because I'm hearing comments from people who look like that's one of the dumbest things ever heard. Dumbest things ever heard. So, and I think it'd be a great topic to have, because we came from that kind of neighborhood. We had to make similar choices.
Yeah.
And we have kids, so we also understand how, even though things change, today is almost the same.
Yeah. Yo, you might want to reach out. You might want to reach out to Rick and give him that so he can get on.
You know what? I'm gonna reach out there. I'm gonna make sure I reach out there.
Yeah, bring
All right,
on.
man. Love you guys.
All right, love y'all guys.
I would love to be on the call with you.
You guys are funny.